Jeremy Kilburn. Oh, shoot. You're not Jeremy Kilburn.
You will get some nice parting gifts, though.
We got a new co-host with the mostest. Yeah, no secret. Jeremy gave up on the East Coast. He's a trader. He went out west, so he's mid-move. But guess what? We have tricks up our sleeve. When that happens, we got people in the bullpen waiting to be called up. And we got Billy. How are you, Bill?
The closer is what we'll call him.
We'll call you the closer.
It's like bringing in Ricky Vaughn. Give him the heater, Ricky.
Yeah.
How are you, Mr. Mike?
Every once in a while, you got to call in the big gun.
Sometimes you just got to do it, right?
It's kind of, I'm not going to make you sing happy birthday, but I'm not going to lie. It's kind of like a birthday week show. I've turned a big 5-1 this week.
Was it this week? I thought it was last week.
No, it's a birthday week. It's in continuation. 23rd. So we're hot off of a vacation. We are hot off the return from the beach. While I was in Ocean City, New Jersey, the rest of the RC world was moving at 1,000,000 miles an hour. Bill, there's an event every weekend. Wait, we said that wrong. There are 5 events
every week. There's a couple every weekend.
There's like 5 every weekend. Yeah, it's busy. It is, as they say in the biz, it is event season.
I'm like the train station conductor. I just stand on the station and watch everybody go by. I haven't been to one since Beat the Creek. I'm like, have fun. See ya. This whole work thing is really getting in the way, Mike.
Adulting sucks.
I do have one quick question, though, about your vacation.
Yeah.
Did you get all the sand out, or are you making pearls as we speak?
Pearls, man. We're still digging sand out the cracks I didn't even know I had.
Well, I'm glad you had fun.
We did. You've got to family first. We will say it all the time from the rooftop. Family first, and take advantage of it while we can. And it was great to hang out with mom and dad. It's funny. I didn't want to be anywhere near them in my late teens, early 20s. I dodged them like a bad habit. It's funny how it comes full circle, and you can't get enough of it. Yeah.
You got to do it.
You missed out on events. I missed out on events. So what we did was we lined up kind of a rapid fire succession here. We're just going to go rapid fire, and we'll let people bring the gossip, bring the recap, bring the lowdown, share some highlights and whatnot from the week of the world in RC eventing. But it's really an East Coast. It's a Beast Coast kind of a weekend where we're going to let the Beast Coast flex between Farm Fest, the T5W. I know you had your sights on that one, Bill. I'm not even going to try and repeat it. It's like Tiny Tire trucking through the woods or something. It's a name. It's a mouthful.
Yeah, the T5W.
Yeah, I like that. It's way simpler.
I was torn between that and Farm Fest. I really want to get up to Farm Fest. I really do. It's too far this time of year for me. This is my busy time of year and my real job.
Yeah. Roger that. I get it. So why don't we do this? We are going to pause for a quick intro. When we come back, we have Jake Fresh, the GOAT, the man, Jake from the farm,
the GOAT
recapping
whisperer.
Everything. We've got Chad Harvey here from T5W, and then those are ones that happened. And guess what? There's hope for the people that still want to get to something. Guess what? There's something on the horizon. The next stop in the Recon G6 World Tour, the 2025 World Tour, will be Blue Rocks, Pennsylvania. So if you're in that area, there is hope for you. We have Aidan's Build, Adam from Aidan's Builds RC here to kind of tease what he's got planned for their night run and kind of run over what will be happening at the G6. So we've got kind of a past, present, future sort of timeline here.
The ghost of RC past.
Yes. We'll be haunted by ghosts. We're going to be haunted by the ghost of Jake first. All right. So, Jake, make yourself decent. Pull up your pants. I see you there in the green room, Jake. Pull up your pants. Make yourself decent. And we are coming to you.
Ground control, we're loaded and ready to taxi.
Flight 209er, you are cleared to take off.
Uh-oh. I did it wrong. We'll go like this.
I was just getting into the jam.
You were getting into it. That intro, it'll get you moving in your seat.
That's it, man.
He didn't have his
We're
pants
rocking
on,
out. What's going on, gentlemen?
Jake, I need to figure out what you are on because there should be no reason that you should be upright right now and in a good mood. Like, what the hell are you on, buddy? It's been a week.
We are running on fumes at this point, but it's been nothing but good times and fun. It's been a marathon of a week, nonstop RC from Friday last week until just about an hour and a half, 2 hours ago, finishing up at RCE with a bunch of good people up there, man. Farm Fest last weekend was a blast. We had out-of-town guests that stayed for the week, and we made a whole journey around the area, took them to all the good spots and showed them all the secret spots, and just had a good time, man.
And yeah, it's kind of the best of the East Coast. Some really great people with, like you said, from the RCEC crew, the THP crew, you got the Jersey crew, you had people coming from all over.
We are very fortunate, and it's actually one of my favorite things about the event. It's hanging in the other room. It's too big to bring in here, but I'm a little bit of a nerd, and my grandma comes out in me, and I throw up a big giant map, and I let everybody put the pin on where you came from. And at the end of the event, I always like looking at that every year and just realizing the effort and the journeys and the commitment that it takes for people that are into this hobby to come out with us and have a good time. You know, we obviously have a lot of local, great local people. And like you said, Mike, we're very fortunate here in the East Coast to have an incredible, huge amount of talent. The RC four-wheel drive team is extremely well represented out here, and all those boys show up to Farm Fest and are true ambassadors to the hobby. I would like to say Kyle, Trevor, John Sullivan, Sully's been on the show here before. Just amazing human beings that truly come out and want to represent the hobby and help people and talk to people. And that's what a lot of the event is getting to talk to people and seeing people that you only see a couple times a year. And it's a real good time, man.
You kind of cheated a little bit. You cheated. Being able to link up with RCEC. Those guys have been doing it hardcore for a long time, and just being able to get on, pair up with what they've been doing, good for you.
Just you hit it on the head. OG's been having fun since before I even realized that RC was even a hobby. Those guys have been throwing down events. Trevor and the RCEC guys they show us how to do it. They show us how to have a good time. We are fortunate to have those guys not that far from us, and we've got the same crowd and yet completely different vibes at the events, because it's the setting. We've got Ledge Stock coming up in August, with the RCEC guys, and for me, that's a event that I look forward to every year because it's kind of the one where I get to let my hair down. Farm Fest for me is a lot of hustle and bustle and a lot of moving parts. And for anybody that doesn't know, we host it right at our home, right at our property. So everything that we do is done by the farm in preparation for it and getting the property ready and everything. So there's a lot of moving pieces. So looking forward to Ledge Stock, talking about the different events, and we're fortunate enough to have those both, with Farm Fest and Ledge Stock in the same area, and in two totally different vibes for it.
Roger that.
Yeah.
Billy, we're bringing you back in.
Sorry about that, boys.
That's all right. Your mic
We
does
missed
have
you, man.
his mic, when I bring him in, I'm getting a little bit of static off
Got
his
you.
back
Yeah,
end there.
yeah.
But that's better. I don't know if you're muted or not,
Is
but
that-
now Bill sounds good. We'll leave him alone.
I'm better now. Sorry
Yeah.
about
Good
that, Bill.
deal.
Yeah. Nope. You're golden. You're
No,
golden.
no. That's the Matrix, right? You never know what it's gonna throw at you.
What's
You
gonna
just gotta
click.
roll with it
We
sometimes.
roll with it.
Should I
That's
do some Matrix? Just lean back in my chair.
It's the beauty of a
Yeah,
lie.
right.
Well, Jake,
Yeah, man.
sounded and looked like a great event, brother. Sorry I missed it. Hoping to make it up there next year. But this
Or
year,
even in the fall. Like, there is hope for 25.
Yeah, no, you're right, Mike. There's coming up. Our next one is gonna be FarFest 6.0 coming up in October. October is always a 1-day event. The 2-day event is in June. But the 6.0 is going to be on October 25th. So this year, since it's that close, we're going theme, and we're going to have, the show and shine is going to be a little bit different, a little Halloween theme. We're going to have best costumes and things like that. So that should be a good time.
That
We had a
sounds
great show and shine at this June. The videos that have come out already and the content that's been coming out has been blowing my mind, and my phone is loaded to the hilt right now. And today is my last day of the marathon, so tomorrow I'm going to actually be able to sit down and start to go through some of the footage that I've got in my phone, and I can't wait to get some of the stuff out there, because there was good times had all the way around. The show and shine was incredible. Craig from Size Matters took home the best motor this year with an incredible build. Puckwood GRC is a local legend here. Our scale trail is littered with my friend Jeff's talent and creativity, and 3 of the buildings that are out there are his. And he won best interior this year for a Willie Nelson FJ with complete articulating, driving, shifting. And because it was Willie Nelson, he also would partake every once in a while on the trip with his hand. So that one wasn't best in show, because there was a smoke show that went along with it. It wasn't just an articulating hand. He also blew smoke out of his mouth. So again, the talent just blows my mind, bro. It's, when you think that you've thought of it all, somebody comes out of the woodworks and is like, "Oh yeah, I did that last week," and you're like, "Holy smokes!" So it's one of my favorite things, man. The show and shines are always great to display the talent that's out there, and let everybody just get a look at everybody's ideas and creativity. I love that aspect of the events.
Bingo. Did we lose Billy? All right. I look up for a second and I lost him. Yeah, dude, it's not about getting jealous. It's about cheering you all on and hopefully inspiring someone else.
Yes.
You look at that engine bay from your best motor winner, Size Matters. Like, hopefully what that's going to do is inspire someone to maybe level up or get an idea to try something different. That's what this is all about at the end of the day, inspiring someone to try something new, maybe a different style, theme. It's about, the inspiration.
Yes, yes. We spent this season, rather than expanding our trail system, I really focused on trying to improve our trail system. And by that, we fine-tuned things. So we went through and instead of just a corner, we had time, we had material. We built things into the trails that weren't there before to give more articulation and more contour to the trails and things like that. So I'm really proud of the trail team this year that did that. And the scale trail, which for us is trail number 3, was beyond anybody's imagination this year. We had a construction building in progress. We had a complete KOA campground, several covered bridges, a UFO crash site,
Oh,
several old time garages, 2 of those. We had it was extremely special to the locals. We had an exact replica of our small town's original drive-in diner theater. So the place where everybody used to go and get popcorn and candy and sit with your mom and dad and listen to the box, hanging on the window. On our scale trail now, we have an exact scale replica of that. So that was pretty cool. That was built by Jeff Puckwidgey RC. Again, just the amount of talent that's out there, and not only talent within our group, because I built some of that stuff out there and I work on the trails, but the buildings are collaborative of many builders. Another local friend, David Black Beetle RC, built a wooden watchtower that ended up inspiring me to set up a whole scene for it, with the end of the scale trail having that be the pinnacle of it. And just collaborating with other people like that on the things that I enjoy doing. I really enjoy the buildings and the scale aspect of the hobby. It's something that I enjoy. So being able to collaborate with other people in that way was something special this year, man. It was really, really cool.
It's pretty cool how everybody came together. Very cool, man.
Yeah, man. I really, and there's no one person that can do it. Our team is phenomenal, and we did something special for them too this year. I'm wearing a very limited edition shirt tonight. My boy Mark Crawlerco RC is just instrumental to me in planning, organizing, setting up Farm Fest. He and I work hand in hand. But when it comes to a lot of creative and design things, I let him take the realm. He's got a neat touch on things. So
yes.
something that I wanted to do for our internal team this year. We have tons of volunteers and helpers that help with the event and help run the event and help plan for the event and stuff. But the trail team are a select group of guys that are here day in and day out on the farm helping me knock the trails out. And we made them some, I got to see which way this goes, some Farm Fest Trail Hero.
I like it. Did he?
We got the rakes crisscrossed, because I mean, when people show up, it's the blowers, the rakes, the hand clippers to make sure the trails are groomed and manicured. We kept getting complimented over and over again at how amazing the trails look. In just a few short years, it looks like a state park in my property right now, and I'm very proud of that fact, because it's something that I spend a lot of time on and make sure that people are as comfortable as they can be when they come to the trails. So we try to make it fun, but we also try to think about that branch that's hanging down that's gonna take your eyeball out because you're staring at your tiny truck as you're going down. So the trail heroes, the THP guys, the guys that come out and help with this are the ones that really deserve the round of applause for helping make it happen, man.
Very cool. Very cool.
Roger that. And I do have, while you're talking here, I'm going to see if I can pull any of these up. You did send some photos over privately, but if anybody wanted to go and look at, maybe some of these winners, is there an actual fan page or what we call event page?
So the event page on Instagram is RC_FarmFest.
Okay.
That's there. And then on Facebook, trying to find my card right now. I think it's RC Farm Fest and Goats is what Mark has that on. I'll be completely honest with you. I've never been on Facebook a day in my life. So the event does have a page, and my lovely wife helps keep an eye on that. And then my homeboy Mark from Crawler Cult is the other one that really runs the Facebook side of that. So
you don't have to redo a new Instagram page for every event. The Farm Fest each year, and each one just keeps tagging onto here, which is a great idea. All right, so that's pull up.
That's the format that I use. It's the simplest.
No, it's
there's pros and cons to it, but
I think it's a smart idea. It makes things very simple. It's one page. Just keep piggybacking right onto it. There was one particular shot that blew my mind away, and that is the attention to detail that you guys put into the dioramas, the scenery. So the one photo I was referring to, the motorcycle sitting at almost looked like a Dairy Queen, an old school Dairy Queen glass front.
That was the drive-in. The drive-in. Yep.
Bro, next level. And the other thing Jersey brings, J Team, he brings the micro. You guys are doing unnatural, X-rated, dirty things to those micros. It should almost be illegal. The crap that you guys are pulling off. It's bravo.
Appreciate that, man. We have a lot of fun with it, bro. The dioramas in the buildings have become such a big thing. We actually had a build off for that this year because there were probably about 8 different builders that had different buildings or structures out on the scale trail this year. And so that was really neat. We had some guest judges, which were Bad Andy from Twisted Tree RC. Yep. And then we had the Size Matters boys. We had Craig and Johnny Dubs go out there. I've got a lot of respect for all of those guys in their scale game. So we let them go out and judge the buildings, and that drive-in, that shot that you're referring to, Mike, that building won the best building in the building.
It deserved it. It definitely deserved it. And not to mention your semi club, the 1/14 scale construction guys that come in here and level up. It's phenomenal.
I'll tell you what, man, I'm glad you actually mentioned that, because I almost forgot. I don't get a lot of time during the event to actually pick up a controller for obvious reasons, but I built a semi truck. I built a 1/14 scale semi truck going into this event, and it is running. It is functioning. It is not done, but it is functional. The only thing I hadn't tested on it was actually physically pulling a trailer, and so I was able to borrow a lowboy and an excavator and hook up to my semi for the first time. And for 25 minutes that we were doing a semi truck parade and playing around in the driveway, I had a grin on my face from one ear to the other. The event, the whole thing could have imploded at that time, and I didn't care because I was so completely enamored with the fact that I was yanking around a trailer with my truck, and just it felt like the first time I picked up a controller. It was that same feeling that we had all gotten, and so that's what it's all about, I guess. That's the essence of the event, is just creating fun, and you never know when you're going to inspire somebody else along the way or what little thing they're enjoying along the way. So,
Jake, you bring up a really, really good point that I think a lot of people forget. All these events, your guys' Farm Fest, Beat the Creek, any of those, they are to go out and have fun with RC and have fun with other people. And I think a lot of times they get lost. I know for a fact the last, 6 years of Beat the Creek, I've run 6 trails is all I've run. And that's why I started taking a little bit of a step back. And I'm talking to other people about having that fun and running, because I get stuck in a booth the whole time, whether it's mine or somebody else's. And I'm going to get back to that. So that point is well made and really hits home with me. Go out and have some fun.
Yep. I'm very blessed in the fact that my trails are on my property. So I do get the opportunity to run my trail. So I don't ever try to cry that I don't get to, run during events. My job during events is to put out the red carpet for everybody to come and have a good show. And that's what I enjoy doing. I enjoy seeing other people have fun using them. And then, we have our after parties and stuff like that where we'll run the trails. But you're right, Bill. That is the essence of what we're doing. It is great to do the social part of it and to network and to hit the vendors and all that kind of stuff. We always want to support our local RC community and all the sponsors that help us put this stuff on. But ultimately, you wanna go. You want to get out and trail. That's the whole point of this, right? So,
Bravo.
Exactly.
That is the building built by Jeff at Puckwood GRC, and
It caught my eye right away. I'm like, holy crap!
it is absolutely incredible, and the pictures hardly do it justice. That's the truth. So, people were figuring out real quick as the evening was getting in. All of a sudden, you started seeing haulers heading out on the scale trail on Trail 3, pulling their lowriders. So before you knew it, at one point there was 4 or 5 lowriders parked around there, like we had a car show going on.
Nice.
Wow.
Cruising.
Yeah, like a cruise night, exactly.
That's phenomenal.
Yeah.
So you guys are definitely bringing the scale game. I would encourage everyone to get up there in October to continue to support the mission for the goats. At the end of the day, I seen all the hay that you brought in, bro. You're next level with the amount of work that you've been putting in there, and it's all about raising money for Patch's farm and these goats. I'm not going to put you on the
Exactly
spot.
right, bud. We put it right back into it. If you've ever been to the farm, you know how we are around our animals. They are like our kids. They're right up there with them, and work hard for them. And the price of hay is just going through the roof right now. So every little bit helps, and it all goes back in, man. We don't need no gym memberships around here. We just go load hay. That's what we do.
And that's another thing,
But
Jake,
we thank everybody.
I'll give you kudos on. Your event raises money for the farm. It's for a cause. And there's not very many of them out there that do that. So I will give you kudos on that. And that's why I would like to support it.
It's easy to get behind.
Another reason I want to get up there, but you guys support a cause. So good for you and kudos.
And we thank you for that. On that note, thank you, Bill. I appreciate that. We had a guest this year for the first time, and I think he's going to be returning, and the entire family is going to be returning next year because they ended up staying for a week.
Is this Brody?
And so Chris and Brody's crew joined us at the farm. Last year they tried to make it their vacation. It didn't work out. This year it did. Wow, nice.
Mm-hmm.
But
they deserve it.
His scale game is phenomenal. I love their family, and they also came to the farm, and we were able to raise money for them as well and their cause. So the one thing I wanted to say, people, there were multiple raffles going on. We had multiple ways people could help causes at our event. And I absolutely open that because we are people. We are the farm, and there are so many people that support us and help us in different ways. And Brody's crew is something that we, as the farm, will always stand behind and always support. And something that having him around the RC community and for that cause, it's easy to stand behind that family. So I was proud to have them up to Farm Fest, and I hope that they keep that tradition going. And we'll just keep doing the same, man. We bring the crowd in, and the RC community is just a loving, giving community, and they showed that last weekend to Brody's crew and the farm.
Nice, man. Very nice.
Yeah, I know that's one Bill would get behind in a heartbeat. It's one of those tug at your heartstring.
That's it,
Want to help,
brother.
Yeah, good stuff.
Just
Definitely good stuff.
So we
All
thank
right,
everybody, man, all the sponsors, everybody.
I get it. We love everything that you're doing. Jake, we're going to have you sit tight. We got two other guys in the back area. We're going to slide you over here for a second. We're not kicking you out. We're going to bring the Brady Bunch kind of theme in here. But you
I want to hear what else has been going on.
Yeah, dude, you set up like a little transition here. There was some other ultra scale shit going on in the western side of Pennsylvania. On the opposite side of you, these guys came to play. RC Addict and the rest of them over there. Some of the content coming out of T5W, you'll understand why. I'm not gonna blow this for Chad. He needs to run through the roster of some of the headliners that came kind of on the DL. I don't think this was public knowledge that a lot of these people were coming. So kind of add a little spice to the scale world. So sit tight. Let's make some room for our friend Chad Harvey. And we're going to bring Adam in at the exact same time because Adam's going to be here to talk about the Recon. But we're not going to leave him in the dark any longer either. So just bear with me 1 second. I fumble through all these fancy buttons here in the background. We're going to remove this so nobody gets blocked by that in that corner. Chad, we're coming to you. Make yourself decent at the stage. There you are. And we're going to do this right away. We're going to do one other thing. We're going to bring in Adam. Adam, just sit tight. I didn't want to leave you in the dark anymore. So we're going to bring Adam in there. But this segment is about Chad. How are you?
Excellent. How you guys doing?
Doing good, Chad. Good to see you, sir.
Yeah, I know Bill, you know him already.
Yeah. We had a good conversation at Beat the Creek, treading the mud together.
Yeah.
I had a moment to spend some time with Chad this week, and I was like, all right. We can get you on to talk T5W, but we are going to definitely isolate an entire hour, a whole Saturday night just for you. Like, you have a story.
Buckle up.
No question. You need so much more time than this little bit here tonight. But tonight's not about you. Tonight, you're taking one for the team. You are here focused completely on T5W. I'm going to let you do the mouthful. Give us the tongue twister. What is it called?
I'll bring it back to the very, very beginning of how it started with Mr. Cornmesser. So I was posting pictures at my blue Wagoneer. Everybody knows it's Beat the Creek, yada, yada, yada. But I was posting it before I got there, and he had messaged me and said, you got a really nice, ride, and I've got some big names come to groom some trails, some dollhouse trails and stuff. If you want to come to my event, let's do it. Didn't know who it was. Had no clue. I pulled up, and lo and behold, the GCM guys were there.
Yeah.
And just mind blown. Mind blown that I got to actually meet those guys. Been a huge fan of them. And when I realized that they were there, it was just, you get starstruck kind of, and you kind of try to keep cordial and keep your cool and try to not be nervous about stuff and play it off cool and stuff. But man, it was just so cool to be even to wheel on the trail with them. You know, I'm 10 people behind them and just having a ball with everybody. Yeah, Tony from Lanyards by Tony. I trail with him quite a bit. We had a lot of good times on the trail. Everybody's so solid, you know. You go there and I didn't hardly know anybody there. I knew Cornmester, Mr. Ryan Cornmester, and that was just briefly, just through Messenger and a little bit at Beat the Creek. And after getting there and meeting everybody, I realized it was the family that I want to be around. So it's in the RC community.
There's not too many strangers in that group.
No. And I found that with everywhere I go. Even when I met you first, the first time, Bill, at Beat the Creek, it was like, hey, he said, hey, I know you. I'm like, hey, and yeah, we kind of hit it off, and like we've known each other. You know, it's just the way it is.
It is. It's a really cool community, and somebody once said that a stranger is just a friend you haven't met yet.
That's right.
So.
Well said. And that is some of that family atmosphere that you are getting when you are welcomed onto Ryan's property and welcomed into Ryan's home. And it's a very neat experience. It's very welcoming, and it has a very family feel to it.
It was quiet, right? So it was
Yep.
it was a small group, but it was a solid group.
Bingo.
A very, very, very solid group, tight-knit group.
And he just leaves it all open for you to you want to go out to his barn. You want to go out to the woods. You're just kind of free to use his property and enjoy. It's a really great time.
Yeah, it was awesome. It was great. The trails were awesome. You know, obviously the GCM guys, you know, they do a good job on everything they do with the builds and the dioramas and stuff. So
That's what brought a whole other level. I went last year with Spare Time Hobbies is there. Big shout out to Spare Time Hobbies and all the good people that were there. But I think bringing GCM over and letting them do some grooming to the trails and bring some of that diorama, it added a little spice to what was happening this year. No doubt.
And it was all real quiet, right? So I didn't know anything about who was going to be there. I just knew that just by what he said, it was very, very vague to me. So it was kind of a shot in the dark. I had an event going on 2.5 hours away from me down here, but I started thinking about it. I'm like, man, it's gonna be hot down here during that time. Like, I don't want to be down here in that Satan sauna. So making the 10.5 hour trip up north to Franklin, PA was it for me. It was a no-brainer.
I'm going to. Oh, these were some more of. I was trying to pull up some of the photos that you sent to me earlier here. I'm still scrolling through stuff that I had from the meatheads up there at the goat farm, and I'm looking at some of the tractor trailers. Looking at their 14th scale stuff, did you guys have any of 1/14 scale?
We were all like trail trucks and just like daily driver trail truck type things, scale trucks. Nothing in like the there's a couple of 6 scale, SCX 6s there, but they weren't. Okay. They didn't bring them on the trail. They did tore it up. So, tiny tire stuff, semi trucks. That I didn't see any semi trucks there. I mean, I would have loved to have seen, something up close and personal, like Spaz's green one he just put out. That one's pretty sweet.
Spaz killed that build.
He did an amazing job on that. I'm still showing it to people today. It's like, man, look at this guy. Like, this is nuts.
Well, let's be honest. Spaz kills about every build he touches.
Yeah, he does. He does a great job.
So he's pretty passionate about it too. I do like that.
Yeah, he put the whole setup together, the trailer, the sprint car on the back. It was a sound system, whole 9 yards, man. He killed it.
And I'm sure Ryan will probably. I'm sure Ryan's event, the T5W, will probably grow into more scale stuff. I know it's still pretty kind of a quiet thing, and it's still kind of getting out there. I will tell you this, boys, I am going next year for sure. I am definitely going. It's my calendar's marked out.
That, you know what? That's a statement right there.
Yeah.
You want to talk about somebody having a good time? Just ask them, are they going back?
Yeah.
Yep.
It's that simple.
I will be a return customer, definitely.
Bravo.
Good.
And that means a lot. Jake and Adam, I mean, we know how many events are happening any given weekend. It's hard to get your attention year after year. You could easily say, Chad, hell no, next year I'm going to bounce out the Farm Fest or not. You know, you want to kind of hopefully spread it out a little bit. You don't want to get locked into the same event, but if you're having a good time, I'm not going to talk you out of going.
Yeah, that one I got to keep there because it was my first time ever wheeling with the GCM guys. So it was to me, it's a more sentimental value to it to an event than anything.
Yep.
Then fair enough. Do you think they're going to come back every year? Is that going to be an experience you'll get now moving forward?
If they don't come back, they don't.
Okay.
You know, I was happy to have met them for the first time and got to shake their hands and you know, got to meet them and got to know them. You know, other than just seeing them through a screen. So
That's kind of the neat part with any event. You got people that you talk to,
yeah.
you know, from around the country and even other countries, really. Hemi-Storm is one. You go to these events and you actually get to talk to them, shake their hand.
Yeah, Chris is amazing. He's an amazing person. He's so cool. He's so inspirational too when you talk to him, man. When I seen him at Beat the Creek, that was another thing that, you know, blew me away. It was just wow.
Well,
Just
you know,
great
on
back.
that note, you really cannot help to throw a shout out to USTE then. I mean, that was the total, it was the complete inspiration behind an expo.
Yep.
This is what GCM and Rob wanted, was that rubbing elbows. I mean, some of the shit that they got the first year, you had to pay for the night run. But the concept was you're getting out there with Desmond Mooney. You're going out there with Matty Cat and Hemi-Storm. You're literally getting this experience with these people one-on-one, you know, for an hour walk on the trail. You're not getting that every weekend when you're going out with your homies. You know, I don't, you know, all I'm smelling is Adam's dirty armpits when we're out there. I don't get anything else besides that. I'm joking, Adam. I'm sorry. When you're out, you know, Adam has to put up with me. I got to put up with him. We don't get this experience all the time. So you know, like Bill was saying, hell, we like getting to these events where you could, you know, meet a Trevor Rushford for the first time. Somebody you're watching on YouTube or Facebook and go rub elbows with them and pick their brain for a little bit. It's kind of cool. It's why we go and hang out with other geeks and hang out with other RC nerds. It's, you know, find out we're all the same.
Sure.
Yeah, I mean, you really, you know, Adam, I don't know if we've ever met or not, and I apologize if we have, but I know Jake and Chad, we both met in person, and it's different when you talk to them in person. You get more of their personality and stuff. You can talk on Facebook, but you lose things in text. And you look at what they've done. And I know, I mean, Chad's stuff that I've seen, just for an example, just using his, the pictures don't do it justice. You know, and that's why
Thank you.
I like to be there in person. It's cool to get out and see everybody. So I always enjoy talking to all you guys.
Fair enough. That makes a well said, and it does help to be able to pick things up and see it a little closer, and not every camera angle shows everything, you know. It's well said. So all that experience, and sometimes I geek out just as much over the build, meaning at USTE, I'll never forget the experience of walking through the show and shine and recognizing the trucks that you're seeing as you're scrolling through your Instagram feed. And, you know, you don't always associate the truck with the builder at that time. You'll recognize, you know, we're those guys, we're going to recognize the build before the dude.
I still don't know Motor Putter's name.
You know what? I knew it till you said that. It's Old Man Mutter Putter's boy.
Okay, I'll go with that. Yeah.
Well, Chad, we need to definitely spend a complete night on your business side of things for sure. We're not
Perfect.
going to redirect here tonight. We'll detour for a moment, but you're flexing it right here. So 10th Addict RC. I will give you a second for a plug. Over your corner of your shoulder, look like you strategically came prepared to flex both arms tonight. Like I knew what you're doing there, homie. You're showing
That's
that shit off.
actually how they sit for my normal teams calls.
Oh,
and
yeah.
meetings. So I'm
No,
so
no.
proud of them trophies. I got the Busted Rust trophy up there, and I took a T5W trophy home for best driver for one of the
He's got
Jeeps. I can't remember which one, but
all of his trophies and ribbons lined up behind him right next to it.
well, and to be honest with you, my first trophy ever for any build I've ever done was at BTC 10.
All right, that's awesome.
So that to me was just it was an eye opener for me, but not so much winning it. It was just the people involved around it, the judges, the people that were going through picking apart the trucks and all that kind of stuff. It was awesome.
So
But,
for the people that are confused, what you're doing is printing bodies.
Yes.
That's the whole gist of this. You are a body builder, not a body builder, but a body builder.
Right. Yeah. There's no weightlifting here. I mean, unless it's one of these little RC bodies, that's the only way I want to pick it up. So,
so basically,
I print the bodies. I offer paint work if you want that done. But most of the time, if you tell me the wheelbase that you're working with or how wide you want to go for tire coverage and stuff like that, I can scale the body up or down to fit your needs, and give you some pointers or maybe some help in mounting, some ideas. Just loving the hobby, right? Just building stuff and building stuff when you don't have any ready to runs around you can build. You just have a pile of parts. You just start grabbing stuff and start throwing stuff together. And that's how the Dorf 250 come about. So
I don't have my notes in front of me, but you dropped a one-liner this week when we were chatting.
I can attract more bees with honey than I can vinegar.
Yeah, that wasn't it, but it was a good one. It was this idea of you wanting to. So I come to you with an idea. I want to do A, B, and C. Your mission and vision is to be a part of helping A, B, and C come to life. You want to see that build happen.
I want to see the build happen more than anybody, not just because it's a body I print. I can print a body for anybody. I want to see the build happen. I want to see somebody take something that I've given them and build it, like Jeremy Griffith, so to speak. So he got one of the Dodge cabs for his service truck, and I'm gonna just plug this little story real quick because I have to be honest about it. So I messed up with the scaling on it, and he wants to play it off like it was his, but it wasn't his fault. It was my fault. I should ask more questions, but regardless, I scaled the body too small, the cab too small for him. So when he tried to put it on there, the gap wasn't correct between the bed and the cab, and I said, okay, let me figure it out and let me just work it out a little bit. A couple days later, I started printing another body for him, and I sent it up to him. No questions asked. I don't care about making money off of these bodies like that. If I'm putting bad stuff out there, I would rather the build happen and somebody be able to work with something I give them than not. Nobody wants a body that just sits around. They can't put it on a chassis or anything like that. Or, I got to buy a whole nother chassis with, 200 millimeter wide axles to fit underneath this thing to make it look right. I don't want that. I want to help make your existing truck that you have that you want to build off of. And I want to help achieve what you want, because they don't offer Dodge or Mopar, cabs ready to runs. Not a lot of people are offering a whole lot of anything as far as besides your Fords and your square bodies. So
And that's a travesty that there's no Dodges, by the way, for anybody that's listening.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be the first to tell you, I like a big old Dodge truck.
Same here.
I mean, they're a powerhouse. So,
yep.
But I want to see the build happen. That's where it's at for me. It's not about making money. It's not about. I don't want to get rich off this, because if you plan on getting into this business and 3D printing to get rich, you're doing it wrong. Yeah, you got the wrong aspect of it, because you're not going to get rich printing bodies like this. You're going to get wealthy and prosperous by doing what's right for people. So if I send you a body and you send me a picture and it doesn't look right, and I say we got to fix that, guess what we're doing? You're going to get a different body. Whether you like it or not, you're going to send it back to me, and I'm going to get you the correct one. I don't want to be known for giving short bodies or something you can't use. That's not what this is about. This is about building. It's about sharing the love of building and giving you a blank canvas that you can start with.
Bravo. Well said. Well done. I will shout out Bill on that. That was my experience with Fishing Bill. He did a micro. He did a micro for me, and it about drove him insane. And he ended up effing up the body, buying a second body. He was like, "I can't send you this one. Redoing it." I was like, "Holy shit, man! You don't have to go through all that." And he's like, "Nope."
It makes more business sense to me to send out something that, if my name's going to go on it, I want it to work. I want it to be the perspective that it needs to be for your chassis and all that kind of stuff. And I'm willing to do whatever it takes to make sure it's right. So,
well,
yeah,
I think Chad, you're the same way as I am as well. When
this is the one that drove him insane. This
is so little. Probably, I wouldn't be able to paint that, Bill. I'm sorry. I don't do the small ones.
Do you think look at that
PTSD right now and flashbacks?
My goodness, look how
those
small that
paws
thing is.
Inside that little body like that.
Were you applying the stickers, the masking on the inside with tweezers?
Right.
No, I was using my fingers mostly.
Oh my goodness.
And it's not easy. But Chad, I think you're the same way as I am. When you do a body for somebody, the one thing that drives me nuts is I'll do it and I will see pictures of it when they first build it. And I love seeing it built, because to me that brings the body to get to life.
Yep.
And that's the part I enjoy. But then you don't see it for 6 months, and you're like, "Where's that truck at?" "Oh, it's sitting on my shelf." Well, I take all that time to paint them on the inside so that they can run them, because I love being at Beat the Creek, being in a booth, and somebody comes strolling up and just walks up, drives up with that truck, and you see it. And that's a cool feeling, The something you created, they're running.
Oh yeah, I dig it, man. I got all kinds of bodies out there, and I'm waiting to roll up on one at an event and be like, "Hey, I remember that."
Yep. Yeah, it's a very cool feeling.
Oh,
well,
yeah.
you do killer work. I mean, those bodies are killer.
Oh, thank you.
And you were definitely in the right place. That was a good group up there at T5W.
Yeah, it was awesome. So, and another thing too is I had a little gift that I gave to, and I think I sent the pictures to you, Bill, and I shared with you, but I wasn't able to share them until here recently on my page because it was kind of a secret. But one of our dyno team members, Mitchell, graduated high school. So I painted a Terrabug body for him and presented it to him at the T5W event. They didn't stay very long. They had some stuff they had to do, but it was cool. They got to come there for about an hour and hang out and, shoot the breeze with all of us. So.
Very cool. Another event that's two events that I would love to go to, and I just have not had a chance to make them.
Well, after seeing the pictures of Farm Fest, I got to put that on the calendar too. So, you probably see me there, Bulldog.
We got a chair waiting for you, brother, man. When somebody like you can get passionate about somebody else's project like that, that's the type of people that we want to come out and have some fun.
I spend more time on the bench than I do out on the trail with people. The bench is where my drug's at. It's wrenching and building. So
you're helping make somebody else's dream come true, and that's dope, man.
Trying to, I'm trying to do what's right and do right by people and do right by God. So,
hey, Mike, can you scroll back?
Yep, this one.
Just a segue right there. if you look at that porta potty right there, that's printed by a very nice printer that we know
It's
very
Adam.
well.
That's Adam's, isn't it?
What's up, Adam?
How you doing? Yeah, I've been sitting back
I'm
quietly.
good, buddy.
You know, you guys all keep pointing at me. Everybody seems to forget that there's a 16-year-old that owns, operates, prints, and now designs. And now he's got his permit. So I went from being transportation last year to this year. I'm going to be like out of a job, which is fantastic. I can go trail again, but
That's outstanding.
Old enough.
I think you need
school?
new stickers on that thing.
Is he at the tech school, like taking CAD, or how is that working?
It's exactly how it's working. He spends half the day at tech school and then half the day in I don't know, regular high school, whatever you call it.
Cool.
You know, I mean, the whole idea with the printer when I bought it for the first one 4 or 5
Why do
years.
we need new stickers on it? Oh, because it's lifting? Is that the problem?
Well, no, because
Mine sat outside last year, and I got mine are peeling a little, just a touch. Yep.
well, you need new stickers because he offers free lifetime replacement of stickers for any of his accessories. You just got to pay the 39 cents for the stamp. That's why you need.
Amen. No problem. Heck yeah.
I would tell you to hit him up on Facebook, but yeah, you don't do Facebook.
No, I'd be better off sending smoke signals from Massachusetts.
Y'all are playing with your toilets. I got mine right here.
Yeah, right.
I think that's the one thing I don't have in this garage is a shitter.
Did Brody's crew bring up their dumpster that got signed? We all signed down at Joey's and the show and shine down there at RC Misfits.
Oh, that's right.
Chris didn't end up bringing any of his scale buildings or anything with him, only because they brought up extra family and were camping, and so they had were running out of room when it came to packing. So nope. But we had some amazing outhouses for sure, man. We had that one at Lazy Larry's. J Teams did a whole theme build with a shitter truck and an outhouse, and then we had a gold mining setup with a wooden outhouse that was built by a friend from the Czech Republic. And he sent that all the way from the Czech Republic to us. So we had plenty of outhouses from around the world. That is the watchtower that was built by Black Beetle RC, and I had to hang the old plane up in the tree just in the right spot so that you can get that shot.
That's
a good shot.
It's a great shot.
So it was a Portalet International Village then.
Yes, pretty much, man. We were covered all the way around.
And that's some JSTE's event when he pulled that off down in Jersey. It was that same vibe. As you start walking through the woods, there was one of the coolest things I ever saw at an RC event, and that was his diorama little house set up by the creek, and he had a tire swing. So
Yes.
a 1.9 tire hanging off of this tree branch, and it looked like a real life tire swing. Like, I'm like, come on, that's the attention to detail that we're bringing now. Like, I'm done. I quit.
That's pretty cool.
Yep. They did a really neat job on that trail. That was fun.
Yep, scale nerds unite.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's totally awesome. There was one other thing. Oh, here, this is what I wanted to show you. This is kind of a walk through the winners.
That's hey, I'll tell you what, bro. Jersey cleaned up here.
Yeah.
Joe Harrington took
Joe lost some weight. He looks good.
yeah.
Joe
That's
does
it. We worked him up here, man. He spent a week on the farm. We worked him.
I
He
almost
took
didn't
best patina with that build.
I almost didn't even recognize him.
He did a great job on that.
Yep. J Teams took best theme and Best in Show with his shitter truck. He did Jersey Septic Solutions is what he did.
Oh,
That's
we
Tobin
do.
Riley. Tobin was one of our few massholes that made it to the podium. So Tobin kept Massachusetts in the running in the show and shine. That was the best paint for the Lexan.
And who did the trophies?
I
Who
love the
did
goat trophies. I was
who
just
did
going to
the
say
goat
that.
trophies?
So those are the idea of Mr. Bouvier and myself. We've been doing the
Wow.
gold trophies for a couple years.
Bravo. Are they 3D printed? Is that what
Oh
that
no,
is?
no,
No?
they're from a trophy shop.
No shit.
Yep.
Bravo. Yeah, there was a couple more you had here. This looks like a micro winner.
That was really fun. I believe that was the best theme for micro, complete utility bed, completely scaled
That's
out in the back
badass.
with everything you could think of
Absolutely.
back there.
Holy
That little face right there, that was his son too, man. That was one of the things I remembered is just seeing his little face around all weekend long, and yeah, that makes it all worthwhile, you know.
I forget what it's like to see my son smile like that. Now he's a miserable 17-year-old. Wow.
Yep, Brody, Chris's son Bryson, and my friend Jeff has it right there. You're right on cue, brother. That is Jeff, Puckwood GRC with his Willie Nelson build, and he is also the creator of that.
Is
Yes.
this an FMS FJ40?
Yep, absolutely.
So no bullshit. I need to know, sitting next to a TF2, did it scale in proportion to the diorama scenery out there? Was it larger than others? I mean, by itself, it's pretty slick, but it's a big truck when it gets next to
It's a large truck, and when it comes to photos, we go with placement. The FJ has got to be in the background, just a little bit just the right placement, and everything is fine. It's all a matter of perspective.
Oh, fair enough. It
Right.
looks great. The guy killed it, and this was best interior.
That was best interior. Yep.
Interior.
But
Bravo.
so that his son and Bryson from Brody's crew, we watched them over the weekend become best buddies, and you know it makes you hope and think that you know you can look back 20 years down the road and they'll be doing some crazy silly stuff like we're doing today and keeping the hobby going. You know, so you know we try to put on a good show and set a good example and show these kids how to have fun and because they're the future of our hobby.
Bravo. Yeah, great work with the seatbelt. I mean, I can see why the guy would win best interior. I mean, it's phenomenal.
Oh yeah, oh he killed it.
I think that was. Oh wait, there was one more. There was one more. Where'd it go? Here. It looks like. Oh, J Team. Here it is. This is the one with the. That
is the Jersey Septic Solutions truck with the full clean out tank.
Bingo.
With
Bravo.
we'll just say we'll call them brown handprints going up the ladder in the back. The bucket hanging off the back, the valve worked in the back, everything had the complete hose, the sucker hose, and so for all those international toilets, we needed something like that, and he came through this year. So we let the crowd vote for best in show. So the best in show is completely crowd choice. All the other categories were done by a judging committee. So he won best theme from the judges, and then the general public, the entire crowd, including all the drivers in the crowd, he by far and away, it was actually a landslide vote, got best in show. So that was neat. Jersey cleaned up good.
He brought a work shirt with his RC build.
Can you zoom in on his hat?
Is what I like.
All right, but what I need to know about this freaking chain around his neck. Like that's
Bro, the goats loved that thing too. They were trying to take him. He thought it was like Debo from Friday. They were trying to take his chain, bro. Oh, he's got the bill flipped up. This kid came with a matching T-shirt and hat to go along with his truck. So he built the he built the shitter, he built the truck, and then had the hat, and I mean, like as if he was in the uniform. So he had the crowd going. I mean, the kids loved it. I kept hearing people on the trail when we did a trail run. You could hear somebody, a couple lanes over, going, "I think that's the shitter truck," So that was neat. Yep.
And you're giving every kid a chance to say shit around his head. Like
exactly. His dad's giving him the okay for just that moment.
Yeah. Commitment to that is applauded.
Bravo, dude. Like that's
the
kind of we had Jake, we had him on the one night here. He came with the dude from South Park with his sunglasses on and his with his motorcycle helmet on. I mean, he comes in like full act mode. Like he dresses up like he does somebody for Flub, doesn't he? Like
so I should have sent you the pictures of Bulldog and Frankie Flubs. Because Flub RC was for the second year in a row our title sponsor for the micro comp, and yeah, Jason has a purple crushed velvet matching suit and pants set with a velvet hat and complete gear. So he spent one of the hottest days of the year on Saturday dressed up in his Frankie Flubs Gabagoo outfit.
Yes, he does. Last year, he spent his birthday in that suit down at a mini comp. So he walked around all day like that with his little cane and
matching
everything.
green shoes and yeah, it's yep. If there's one guy that's gonna put it all together, J Teams is the person to put it all together.
I just want to know how far does he plan on? How deep does he plan on going in the shit with that snorkel? I mean, I'm just.
Right. Well, he had everything he needed in there. There were plungers in there. There were, anything that gentleman would need to get his job done was on that truck.
Bravo! I am blown away. Like holy shit. You know what? It goes to show you something here. It's not about the quantity. You can have 80 freaking trucks hanging behind your wall, but it don't mean shit if you don't have a good one. You know what I mean? Like it's quality over quantity any day now. I'd rather him focus on one goddamn build a year than having to do 6 shitty ones. Like this is phenomenal.
I wish I could focus on one build a month.
Yeah, no kidding.
This is absolutely phenomenal. I mean, hands down. Yay, Jersey, making this Philly boy proud.
Yeah, nicely executed. Bravo to him.
Good shit.
No pun intended, right?
No pun intended, man. I got the pass right now to keep saying it.
So you get no points for that one.
That's some good stuff. All right, so we were segueing. I think Jake was trying to tee this up nicely for Adam. Adam, I think it's your turn. We're gonna let you kind of hype the.
I guess it is, huh?
Yeah. We'll let you talk. Let's.
Well, what do you want to talk about, Mike?
Well, this is the next stop on the Recon G6 World Tour. Literally, and that's not BS. So out of all the other events that we've been talking about tonight have all been local, one-off deal, fine, Jakey do it twice a year. But the Recon is something unique. It is a traveling circus that will pop up around the world, literally. Its next stop on the world tour is coming to Blue Rocks, Pennsylvania.
Blue Rocks Family Campground.
Blue Rocks Family, one of the sickest campgrounds in the United States, hands down. I'm not saying this like
we could spend an episode just talking about how
camp.
awesome Blue Rocks is.
Just the campground alone. And 100% right, Adam. You could spend an episode just on the campground, how it has transformed into an RC campground over the years. Like, you think, go back to the early days when the Recon stopped there for the first time. These annual lifetime campers at this event never saw an RC car, didn't know anything about them. By the next year, immediately the next year, they were already getting in on board and participating, running out, getting their own, and joining the event. Now they look forward to it year after year. You can actually say one step further. Even the campground will rent RC cars now. So you can go to the general store, rent a RC car, and go hit the trails. And it's open now. As long as the campground's open, you have access to a trail. Sure, they're not the same. They're not groomed and maintained, to the level of the G6 weekend, but you can get out there and find a trail and overland crawl.
That isn't necessarily true anymore. I spend less time down there getting trails ready than ever. Matt Stevens and Blue Rocks they're out there grooming the trails. There's a lot of people RCing down at Blue Rocks now
that are keeping it maintained. And
yeah, absolutely. They're blowing leaves off. Every fall they blow the leaves off. They're out there with the chainsaws, making sure they're clear. There's a lot of activity down there. I don't spend as much time down there as a lot of people. I love it down there. I think it's great. But too much of a good thing is too much of a good thing sometimes. And I like keeping that Recon weekend special.
So is it a campground that's kind of going towards an actual RC park then?
No, it's a family campground. They have access to the Appalachian Trail. They have they have a pond and all kinds of activities for kids. Well, they have hiking trails, so they just decided to take some of the hiking trails and make them RC trails and give people different options. What you would think of it an RC park or an indoor RC course. No, it's not there.
There's no drift cars or any nonsense happening. The trails, there is terrain set up all the time. But let's take RC away for 1 second from the statement and talk about the food. There is a Woody's restaurant. What we're going to call it, Woody's restaurant on site. Like walking tacos, some of the best grub you could imagine.
Yeah, little 50s cafe, food, bingo. Ice cream, walking tacos.
So
food's always good there.
Full disclosure, this was the campground that we would use when my kids were growing up as little ones and I would take them camping. This was the place we were going. Long before RC was a thing in my life. This is the campground that we would hit. So out of dumb freaking luck, the annual fix. This is the world-renowned. This is the event that used to be hosted in Las Vegas, Nevada, has now moved to the backwoods of nowhere, Pennsylvania. Out of dumb freaking luck, it is here now. People flying from around the country are landing in Allentown or Philadelphia and driving into this place to grind and work their nuts off for a 12-hour endurance challenge.
Yes.
And the purpose of this...
Where do I sign up?
G6 certified, real-world testing, G6 certifying all kinds of stuff, servos, motors. And next time you're on Castle's website or Proline, Boom, or Pitbull, you're going to start to see it now wherever you go. G6 certification, not necessarily the person that ran it, because there are men way tougher than me that are out there for 12 hours grinding their asses off for this shit. And bravo to them.
Yeah,
Matt Coacher, I'm talking to you,
tough.
Matt.
It's tough. I ran it with riding with Aidan and my buddy Timmy, and we won
Timmy?
our class. Yeah, we won our 12-hour class the first year we ran it.
And that was in a 3-man team.
It was in a 3-man team. Yep.
Which takes nothing away from the individual. This is a 3-man support.
Yeah,
option.
it runs a little different. Out of 3 men, you have to have 2 running at all time. Now that being said, I had a 11-year-old on my team at the time, and Daddy had to pick up some of his laps. So I said I'm never doing it again. He went back 2 years ago with a team, picked up another win. He's done a couple 6s, because if you're not in the 12, you could do a 3 or 6. They can be as competitive. They're just not as long. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. Everybody should do it once. But if you do it more than once, you're pretty dedicated.
Can I just say one thing here for all of you Sorka people that are thinking class 1, class 2, all this competition nonsense? It's not about a comp here. This is so much support from the man next to you, wanting to see you succeed in this personal journey. I tried.
Why don't you tell them how we met?
I'll tell you how I'm going to. That's where I'm heading with this. So I went into this event kind of blind, kind of built completely the wrong truck. I went the wrong direction.
It was a nice truck, though.
Thank you. It was a sick-ass build, but it was not purpose-built for what we were doing here. It was one of those trucks that were an absolute pain in the ass to take the body off. The scale lug nuts on the wheels, like everything about it was not maintenance-friendly. But that being said, I went into this thinking I knew what I was doing, and probably 6 hours into the event, I went tumbling down this hill, like completely destroyed, devastated. And this little guy, this 11-year-old, comes out of nowhere, like comes over to me. Well, what are we doing? And I'm like, dude, I'm done. No, we're not done. Here, reaches over and grabs me his toolbox, and he's like, my dad will give you whatever the hell you want in here. Like, just have at it. Like, he's rummaging through this box, kind of like rebuilding this truck for me. I was completely fine going to get a sundae and a walking taco. I was done. Like, kid, don't even bother, bro. I'm out. And he's like, you're getting back in there.
We weren't having any of that.
You're going. So this was the start. So Aidan came out of nowhere and walked up and just both hands jumped in, found the parts that I needed, with the people in the pavilion all chipping together. I ended up with some sick ass aluminum boom racing axles that came with some plastic axles left with some pull out aluminum axles. It was a massive upgrade, but that is the purpose of this event. Or I'm sorry, that's the cool shit that happens in this hobby is when, we'll talk about somebody taking the batteries out of their controller and giving them to you, or, here's a servo. But, I mean, I've seen some real money, not physical cash. I've seen some valuable parts donated and given away without sacrifice. And that is the camaraderie and the support of this event. So it's not about, yes, you're going to win, sure, but it's a personal win. Everybody else is there to help you along. And an emotional moment is watching that last lap. When those guys are dead tired, sweating, most of them cursing me out because they're lugging either a sling bag or a backpack that is like digging into their shoulder, raw blood coming off their neck, looking over at me, with fire in their eyes, like, dude, I'm certifying this shit for you. I'm going to kill you when it's over. Like, it's, 12 hours, that thing digging on them, and you can see they're sweaty and tired. But that last lap, they all come together, they hoorah, and it's really cool to see. And it's not about getting across the finish line first. Then it's how do we get everybody to finish at the exact same time? And it's a cool experience.
Which, that segues in, and we should talk about the event itself, but it's so hard when you start talking about this and not talk about the experiences. 2 years ago, Matt, you know, at the end of it, Matt's exhausted. He's running a 12-hour, and one of our drivers went down and her rig was just shot. He strapped her rig to the top of his truck on this 35-degree angle hill, hooked up a tow rope to the top of her truck, and walked probably a half a mile along this ridge line, holding the truck like this, driving with one hand in the dark so that she could finish her 12-hour fix. The things that go on with, everybody pitching in, it's fantastic.
Was he getting Jess Parr across? Was that what you're referring to?
I don't remember if it was Jess or whether it was Grandma. I think it was Grandma's rig. It was the last lap. We just need to get it across.
All right, yeah, bravo. And those are the cool things that you start to see at this event from every direction. Something cool, very supportive. And, you're dealing with an event where Brian Parker is a very sick man, doing things to intentionally screw with you. For example, you're going to do a lap with cowbells like around your neck and take the earbuds from you. So now you're clanging and banging around cowbells for no reason at all.
Or it's 100 degrees out and there's an aluminum pot on your head.
Roasting you, the flat tire, we're going to take a wheel off. But there's even subconscious things that are built into the course that you don't even realize. There was a section on the top hill as you're coming across, and it looks like level ground. Like this is going to be the spot where I can kind of regain some strength. I'm going to get my rest moment, but it's subconsciously screwing with you because you don't see the fallout at the end. It just kind of goes off and you're walking and it's designed this way to continually mentally push you, physically and mentally. And then obviously it's a badge of honor for the part to be certified at the end. You are getting tires. Then there was a Life BC before COVID. You could literally build a truck from the ground up, from the tires to the chassis, to the servo, to the body, and literally have a completely G6 certified truck. Very cool moment at the peak of this event. And we are seeing now that COVID's gotten a few years behind us, you are seeing the rebuild and the excitement starting to come back into this event, and traveling as restrictions are gone and people are moving around, and it's great seeing this event get its traction again.
25 is a great year for the Recon. So it's typically the Recon and the Fix. They're two separate events, and the Fix is typically held, on Thursday, and then about noon on Friday, most trails open, and we're rocking and rolling with our on trail adventures. It's just grown to a point where everybody comes out, and they come out early and they want to spend time on the campground. People are traveling. I think this year, here, let me just take a look at my note, because I have one note is that, we know for a fact that we have people coming in from Portugal and Slovakia just to run the Fix. So they're going to hang out, get there early, hang out late. This year, the Recon officially starts on Wednesday. So it went from a day and a half event to, we'll have some stuff for you to do when everybody's running a Fix on Thursday, but it's not really completely open to Wednesday. There'll be trails marked, ready to go, and ready for your adventure to start.
Bravo. That's exciting. Giving it a whole extra day, midweek, get the grind on and get started.
It is very exciting. It is. And
so the Fix is actually Thursday then, correct? So Wednesday will be your day of prep?
No. So Wednesday, check in at the campgrounds. I think it's either 1 or 3 o'clock. I don't recall.
Okay. That's
by
the campground rule.
By the time you roll in and can check in, There will be at least 2 trails open for running on Wednesday. Thursday, Thursday when Mr. Parker is playing the MC, doing the fix, meet and greet, doing all that stuff. The rest of the G crew will be out grooming some trails. I'm sure there'll be a couple more new trails opening on Thursday. Friday, after we have our drivers meeting, everything will be open and ready to go. So there'll be an absolute ton of things to do. One of the exciting things that's different this year than other years is Brian is trying something new. In the past, we've had what's called the Dromedar Trophy Truck Challenge. So it's when you get your D90s and your tiny tires out and you go do a little adventure. Generally, that is an event that would happen kind of inside. It would start at a certain time and it would end at a certain time. This year, we're doing something completely different. And what'll happen is there'll be challenges set throughout the campground. And actually, let me grab one since I got one here. And as you do your runs, you're able to complete the challenge. So I don't know if we're going to be able to see this, but this is one of the checkpoint challenges. And there'll be a duck race going on. All right. So what we're going to have for this one, I'm not going to tell you all of them, but for this one, in the creek there, which is the best scale creek you'll ever see, bar none, there'll be a set of trail markers and a start finish line for duck. You will drop your duck in the water and you will try to beat the duck to the finish line. Duck goes straight and you have to go through a dozen different trail markers, maybe use a winch, maybe use a sand ladder. Who knows? Once you do that, you get to proceed to the next one. And, the nice thing is if you want to go out and run all of them at once, you can go run all of them at once. If you want to go run with your group and, you're kind of in the tiny tires and your buddy's in the 2.2s, well, when you hit the stage, you take 2-3 minutes. He takes pictures for you. You run the Dromedar Trophy Trucks stage and, away you go. So it's really going to be nice. It's going to be flexibility to let you run how you want to run with who you want to run. And there's going to be some neat stuff going on.
Oh, so you're really focusing on the event itself. Did I pause Bill here a second? Did I bring him back? Wow, Bill, your mic is back on and I'm not hearing you now. So that's fantastic. Bill, what'd you do different?
I turned off my air conditioner.
Oh, okay. You sound great. I was getting
not gonna lie. Not gonna lie, in this garage, it is a bit warm.
All right, we're gonna make you sweat it off for the last minute. You sound great now.
That sounds like training for a fix run.
I'm gonna pin your balls to the wall on this one, Adam, because it's exactly what I said. Wednesday is your day before, and then Thursday is the fix. You skipped over this part, so that is the day those animals are out there grinding away. What you wanted to do was paint a picture of if you just don't have to be doing the fix. While that is happening, there is a whole other life happening. So you have these guys grinding and certifying product, but that doesn't bring the rest of the event to a close. The rest of it's you're out there overlanding and playing in the creek bed and making your, grabbing your content, playing in the pool, doing whatever the hell you want. That is the beauty of this event. There is something happening and going on anywhere. And meanwhile, you got Parker running around and going crazy and taking video and Facebook Live and
yep.
Sorry, Jake, you're not going to see the Facebook Live.
It's
it's happening.
It's a circus, but that implies it's not organized. It's kind of like organized chaos.
Organized chaos. I like that. Running on Parker time.
Now, I don't know if you're going to be able to see this. You'll appreciate it.
Oh, bingo. Well done. Well done.
Yeah, I thought you'd appreciate that. So we have some scale trail enhancements. We do different stuff each year. So we have some little fun ones. And Mike, I'm sure you can see this, his
Do
favorite
work,
phrase.
driver, do work. Yep.
So, you know, we're going to have a little fun. I mean, we always have fun, but we're going to decorate it up a little more.
So that's throughout the day, and now your money shot, your glory moment is at night when the sun goes down. This is
It
the
is.
time to shine. This is what you spend months working on. Is this night run?
It is. We are very blessed that Parker allows us to contribute to everybody there's fun. So over the years, Aidan Builds has sponsored the night run, and it kind of exploded and got out of hand. This year, so special things at the Recon, it's a little bit longer. This is Parker's 15th anniversary of running Recons. So we have 2 night runs going on back to back and intertwined. Typically, night runs have themes. A couple of years ago, we had Brave New Worlds, where we explored outer space and aliens, and there's been different themes over the year. Well,
And you got Mike out of there when you had Alien?
so Parker pinned my wife down, and they started talking and heard
Whoa.
about that.
Oh,
You know,
That
shit.
didn't sound right.
be nice, and started talking about Halloween. Well, one of the things that we've always done for our local club is put on what's called spooky trails, and we do a Halloween theme. My wife loves Halloween. So next thing I know, Parker's pulling me aside, say, "Hey, yeah, do you know what the theme for next year is?" "No, what is it?" "Well, you know, we're going to have Halloween in July." I'm like, "You little bugger." So now I have 7 22-gallon totes full of Halloween stuff for the trails. And because it is the 15th anniversary, we are doing a Trail of Memories, which is kind of neat. I got a couple of them here. I'm going to go dark. So if I disappear, be blessed, you don't have to look at my ugly face. So, Mike, let's see if you can recognize who that is.
Is it Des?
It is Dez.
Holy crap.
So what we did was we typically do lit trail markers. That's one of the neat things about the night run. You don't really need lights. And I was able to take pictures and put them on the trail markers.
Wow.
Very cool.
Wow.
That's awesome.
So these are some of our Recon G6. I've had the privilege of running in both Pennsylvania and Tennessee with Chris and Hillary, great people. Let me just grab one other random one. Mike, you're in here someplace, but I don't know where you are. So another thing we did was we did a different size trail marker and focused on cool scale builds. So
Very cool.
That's awesome, man.
And now these pictures, some of these pictures are mine, but what we did is we asked everybody to submit some pictures. So we have other people's favorite Recon moments. Then we have, it's actually a little bright. You can't see. So these are lithophane light boxes. If I could get the angle right, you would actually see a picture there. All right.
Yep.
Clear as the day like a photograph. But because, you know, it's just not working because of the computer light.
Yeah.
I'll bring out another one. Let me see if this one will show. This is a little duller.
Oh, that's cool.
There we go.
Oh, cool. Is that the bamboo
Awesome.
printer allowing you to do that?
No, I could do this on the Ender 3s. These were done
Okay.
on it. It's kind of neat. I'll show you how to do it one day. So I'm gonna throw the light back on. So in lieu of typical trail markers, we always do lit gates. And so this is an example of one.
Nice.
What we have is just a little light that you're able to put on any corrugated board. Some of them are white, some of them aren't. So, here's one of our bats. Pumpkins, witches, you name it. Let's see what we got. We got a pumpkin. These are all printed in matte with a holographic background. So even if you don't have them lit, when the headlights hit them, I mean, they'll light up.
That's cool.
That's
all the way
very
across
cool.
the wood. So we have, I don't know. I think I probably have about 200 of these prepped and ready to go with everything else. And of course, it's Halloween, so we have to have all kinds of neat Halloween things. And these are projectors that will project up in the trees and on the trails. Love the kids. And the kids love these things. So I'm sure we've all seen these. They're all motion detected. So
Yep.
Drives by. Another neat thing, we have our bestiary, and that's a fancy way of saying a zoo.
Okay.
And we have a zoo full of random, different, glow-in-the-dark skeletal animals. So these will either glow or be illuminated with the black light. And we have a whole petting zoo area set up. There's bubblegum machines so you could feed them. We have a guard dog. One of our guys lost his dog a couple years ago, and I managed to find its spitting image in skeletal form. So that is our official trail guardian. Trying to think what else we got going on. These are fun. That was a little noisy for everybody. So these go on stakes, and you'll have a big giant tunnel for you to drive your trucks through at night with the lights trying to give you seizures. So that's, the night run this year it's going to be a long one. It's probably half the fixed course, which is normally a mile. So we're looking at a good half a mile in the dark.
What day is? Do you have?
It's Friday night.
Okay.
Okay. Drivers meeting will be about 8:30. We'll start when it's dark enough to make the lights matter. So a couple of neat things that you have in store is last year we played Pac-Man, big giant Pac-Man maze. You had to drive your truck through without hitting ghosts and whatnot. This year, since it's fall, we're doing the world's largest corn maze for RC trucks. So I think great minds think alike, because I heard drive-in movie theater. So last year we put up a drive-in movie theater. We're going to do it again this year. Last year, I think we were an 80s theme. So we watched, I think we had Pretty in Pink running, and then we had Gleam in the Cube and all kinds of movies running on the screen. This year, since it's spooky trails and Halloween, I think we're going to do horror film, the trailers, the intros, the horror films. Now it's all kid friendly, so it might get instead of Jason, it might be Jack Skellington, but because there's absolutely no jump scares, absolutely no gore, and absolutely no horror. It is supposed to be entertaining for kids and people like Mike that are afraid of spiders and their
scared
shadow.
of the dark. Yeah.
You don't want Mike to pee on himself. I mean,
Yeah, and we will have trick or treating for the little ones. Although you guys are welcome to partake too, but it's for the kids.
But fair enough, Adam. That's kind of a nod back at Brian for his vision of the G6. It is a family fun event, and he is encouraging everyone to bring your kids. And if he's finding out that this is like a dope smoking session somewhere on the trail, he's putting your ass in the back of the line and making sure this is done out of sight, out of mind. I mean, he's not cracking with a whip, but holy crap, you cross him wrong. Listen, you don't want to be swearing and acting like a moron around him, and heaven forbid you get caught stealing something. you're might as well just gonna be hung up in a tree somewhere. Like
It-
I will
The way it
leave
should be.
I will leave everything I have out on a picnic table and walk away
Oh,
with
yeah,
all the confidence in the world that
absolutely.
all my shit will be back there when I come back. Like
A-
they're like, "Are
absolutely.
you gonna let that there?" Oh, dude, trust me,
You
it's not
know,
going anywhere.
you
Nobody's gonna
you hear horror stories about going to
at
Axial
events.
Fest
Yeah.
and some of the other
Yes.
places,
Yes.
and I can take a walk around at any time, and there'll be campsites there, and there'll be tables out, and there'll be 10, 15 trucks just sitting out with nobody there because they're out running. Those trucks aren't going anywhere. It's a big giant family, and it's a big giant family because that's how we want to be, not because we're cliquey, not because we have known each other for so long. Because times change, kids grow up, they can't make it one year, Florida vacation, whatever the case may be. There's constantly new people, and they're all treated like friends and family, period. It's just the way the event is. It's better shared with people. One of the things that gets lost in trailing is kind of some of the scale realism of driving a truck. Now, Parker doesn't have any rules. There are no rules that you have to follow when you're driving the Recon, when you're doing the gate or the trail markers. He has, I think the only requirement, what is it, Mike? You got to have a toe strap, right? That's the only requirement. Everything else is highly recommended, not mandatory. You go out and you roll your truck over and you're by yourself. You sit there and wait, and somebody comes along and they flip you and you get back going. If you don't want to, yeah, you can flip it yourself. You can take a tow rope, you can flip it, you can winch, you can do whatever you want. The fun part of it truly is screwing up and having somebody come tow you out.
Bravo.
It's just, I mean, it's to the point where we have a kids run that Dennis normally runs, and Joe Ropes started it. And one of the things that we do on the kids run is we have a whole class on trail heckling. It's absolutely hysterical. We teach the kids how to go up and kind of pick out something on somebody's truck that they like and compliment them and start a conversation with adults and talk about the trucks and ask them about their builds. But the flip side is if you happen to be driving a 2.2 out there, first thing out of those kids' mouths is pointing, giggling, like, hey, look, he's got training wheels.
Out of good fun.
So it's a good fun. And, I know how much you like your walking tacos.
Oh.
We have something new this year for everybody to play with.
Well, we got lightsabers.
It's a wampum stick.
We have pool noodle swords.
Fun noodle adjustments.
How bad is it going to be with a bunch of kids running around pool noodle swords? We might have some problems.
I've been whacked with them a few times.
Yeah, Recon's great fun. It's good fun if you're a loner. It's good fun if you're with a group. It's good fun if you're a loner, but you don't want to be a loner. It's the 1 week a year that I can tolerate hanging out with Mike 24/7 and not want to choke him. Sorry, buddy.
Yeah.
I love you, man.
You'll be sick of me. Don't worry.
So yeah, it's going to be fun. There's show and shines. What else are we doing? I'm pretty sure we're having a tough truck challenge. The fix. Look at all these people I know. I know that truck.
Bill, you'll recognize this truck. This is what I kind of pulled up here. These are some shots like around the pool, but there is a spot down here in the creek, and it's not the greatest, but the creek bed down here is phenomenal. The water height of it under perfect conditions, like when it's not massive drought, you're going to get scale water. And that's, what Parker's looking for is the water to be mid height on the wheel, not completely buried. He's looking for all that.
Scale water, mid height.
Yep. It's that little attention to detail that they put into it. That makes it cool. I did a really crappy job finding some really crappy shots here, but I was just trying to find some moments from the event.
I don't know if you know this, Mike, but we've kind of drug Parker into the modern Facebook age, and he actually started a Recon G6 friends and family group, so people can ask questions and talk about
great
and
idea.
talk about it. Now, have you heard any scuttlebutt about other events in a positive way?
No.
There's some grumblings that there's going to be a pretty super scale event going on in our area in the spring.
Oh, unrelated to the Recon.
I couldn't say.
Okay. Is this Sorka related?
It is definitely not. It is definitely not Sorka related.
Okay.
I think you've already opened the can and teased everybody enough. Might as well go ahead and say what's going
you got
on.
my mind scrambling here.
Well, I think probably if you happen to be at the award ceremony at Recon, you might hear all about it.
Okay. Are you referring to maybe getting Parker back to our area again? Does this have anything to do with him?
That's a possibility.
Okay.
I mean, he does have a van, or he does have a big bus that he likes to sleep in.
Yeah. No, that is absolutely fantastic. And for anyone that's not aware, like, this is a boom racing type of event. It's Jason and Brian Parker have been very close since the beginning. Boom racing trucks all over, Leaf Spring event. I mean, this is a scale event, plain and simple. You're gonna I encourage everyone to come and check it out. And the campground, and you're enjoying the night run.
That is the beauty of it. It is definitely a rung what you brung event, and Parker lets me set some trails. He sets some trails. Other G crew members set some trails. So there's some character to it, although it really is Parker's vision. There are some trails that you don't want to be caught dead in with tiny tires, that kind of satisfy some of the more performance-based rigs. There are some trails that are incredibly scale and ridiculously fun with leafers, big heavy D90s. And there's really a little bit of everything in between. And Brian takes a lot of pride when we go out and set the courses to make sure that even if some of them are a little bit tough, there's always an out. His philosophy is trail markers aren't there to force you to go through something. They're to help you build your own adventure. So some of it's kind of up to you to decide what path you want to take. And that's the beauty of it. It really, the whole event comes down to how you want to run it and how you want to satisfy your scale need or your performance need or your trail truck need or your need to hang out with friends. It's all there if you want it. And you haven't mentioned, I remember that day. You haven't mentioned it.
There, Mike?
Huh?
Were you like 12 there?
Well, that's how long we've been going to Blue Rocks. It's been, is this year 9 or 10?
Year? Yeah, at least.
I think this is 9 or 10 at Blue Rocks.
9 or 10, yeah.
And then, so you haven't mentioned it. I haven't mentioned it. And
the Parker pickup.
We're forgetting about the minor bash fest that occurs.
Okay. Where are you talking about? Down the volleyball?
The Teak and Terra Cross.
Okay.
So, yep, there's a point where there's races through a volleyball pit. Everybody's boxed in and you can't follow your trucks, and there's obstacles, and there are bashers, and riffs and Losies and trail trucks and all kinds of just crazy heats with trucks going around in a circle as fast as they can, rolling over, hitting each other by accident, and just a whole lot of good old-fashioned boys playing with toys and having fun.
Very cool. And that's perfectly said. There is something for everyone. I think it's keeping people involved the entire time. Keep both ears open. Parker moves at lightning speed and will always be moving on to the next thing. He's keeping everyone entertained. Little trail runs here and there, not to mention the terrain itself. There's probably a story behind the campground and this whole Blue Rock mountain glacier melting, and that's where a lot of this stuff, is left behind. And
yep,
so
it is glacial till. It is the southernmost part of the glacier, and as it melted and receded, it left Blue Rocks, that big rock field. There's 3 of them in Pennsylvania within 45 minutes. They're all connected one way or the other.
It's a cool.
It is
site.
cool. And geographically it's cool, and I mean it's just they have a 7-mile loop that takes you up like 1,200 feet across the top of a mountain and descends you 1,200 feet back to the campground if you like long hikes and long trail runs.
Or I'll throw a knot out there. If anybody's got a drone, I will dare you bring your drone. Paul Wilhite brought his drone, his DJI 2 years ago, and just to sit back by the pool and let that thing rip and just go. You're seeing some iconic sights. It's very cool.
Yeah, you brought up the pool. Think about how many old fat guys like us in the middle of the day get done the trail run, toss the shirt off, go hop in the pool. Everybody sits in a circle and cools off. And 20 minutes later, throw a shirt on and walk around the trail soggy and dry off just to hit the pool again.
Shout out MJ. I went there. Sorry. MJ, I love you.
We love MJ. MJ's a fixture.
But if you can't find MJ, look in the pool.
Well, I mean, that's how it is, though. He's got little ones.
Yeah, and that's the whole point.
He's got little ones. I think about this. Aidan I took him to his first recon. He was 7 years old. 7 years old. He turned 16 this March.
Good Lord. It goes quick.
Okay. You met him when he was 8 years old.
Yep.
Because he was 8 the first time he ran the 12-hour fix.
Okay. It goes fast. It goes real fast.
Yep. Now we're taking trips out to colleges to look at technical colleges for him. It's I don't know where the time went.
That is definitely. We can't thank you enough, Adam, for giving us a little tease. Oh shit! Hang on, I hit something. Time out. My bad. I don't know if everybody's hearing this. That was me. I hit a wrong button. My bad.
Well, yeah. I'm glad to share.
Can you hold up one of those little cars that you made?
Oh, you can hear me playing with it?
Yeah. This is cool.
All right. So we found the truck bodies at like a dollar store.
Okay.
And they had like dump trucks and stuff like that.
Yep.
And I'm like, oh no. So we designed and printed little Dracar race trucks. So in the woods, we're going to have a track set up.
Yep.
You'll be able to, you can see the spare tires in that one. You'll be able to pull up. This will be set up.
Perfect.
Not out. Whoop. That'll be set up. There'll be tables, chairs, action figures, coolers, everything you can imagine for a scale display. And hopefully y'all stop in and grab some pictures.
and well, you'll have your scale accessory booth set up.
So,
you
yep,
wanna
Aidan will
all-
be there.
Yep.
Take care of all your scale accessory needs.
And very unique stuff. I mean, just not. This is one of those cool little moments. This is a bucket that would be in the back of your truck, where all the shit's kind of spilt out and all over the back of your bed. Like iconic for me in my scale garage. It's like chaos everywhere. Like the cool little stuff that we find over there at Aidan Builds. Plus, you'll have carry all sling bags over there for sale. You'll
Yep.
have
And I know you'll be by for that flux capacitor.
oh yeah,
I
that was
know you.
definitely
You're going to find a place for that flux capacitor.
Oh, I'll definitely find a
just
spot.
like you found a place for the little computer.
Dude, that computer's sick. And that was one of those computers that you set up where you get to go home and finish it yourself. You could wrap the outside of the tower. You start to assemble the inside. I learned more about computers putting that scale computer together. Like
Yeah,
figuring out where all
a neat
these
little kit.
fans and hard drives go. Dude, it's like ridiculous.
And then the clear Lexan windows so
On
you
the
could see
outside.
inside when you were done. Yeah.
If you want to
Yeah.
light the damn thing like a real computer, you could go crazy.
We should revisit that, and we should get some
Throw bulbs in there.
RGBs in that.
So yeah, there's definitely some scale shit happening there. You guys do a great job with your accessories. You bring that level of extra detail. The cool thing about the accessories that Aidan is doing, it's in the sticker work. Those little extra details mean everything. Like you saw on the side of the shitter with the star, you know, that stuff really sells the scale.
Yep.
And
And one of the
see all that all
the nice
time.
thing about that porta potty is that's an actual company in Pennsylvania. He had originally commissioned us to make 10 of them for his parades to advertise, and we got permission.
Bravo.
We got permission. We recreated his graphics, and we're like, well, if we're going to do a scale porta potty, we're going to do a scale porta potty. That porta potty, when I designed it, is literally the exact same brand and model that he uses. I went to his manufacturer and got their tech sheets where I was able to get all the measurements, all the distances, the pattern, and everything. We reproduced it. Never do that again. It was a lot of work, and I didn't have a whole lot of Fusion 360 skill like I do now. It was just days of trying to figure out how to put an arc in, and yeah, good learning experience though.
It's cool and all, but when you do this, now that's a skill. That's doing a shitter right there when you make the
That's
t-shirt
so
up and come up with one. I know you did it off of a real company, but this is awesome. I'm sorry, J Team, you killed it, bro.
Yeah, that's a killer picture. I think that's my favorite from the event.
Dude, it's awesome. That's awesome. But yeah, getting commissioned, Adam, to do work for a legit company like that is a cool ass moment. That's awesome, no doubt. And it's a great weekend for Aidan here. I mean, I know he's getting. This is a chance for him to get his name out there, and the local support for Aidan at this event is in abundance. This is, no doubt, it's kind of the birthplace. We're going into this event as our 5th year with Carryall. This is our 5th year anniversary, born off the blood, sweat, and tears of the Recon G6. I know it's a tear-jerking moment for you, Adam and Aidan, and it gets emotional at this place. There are
there's
tears of joy that get shared at this event. It gets
there's a lot of history. Got a lot of history of Carryall there.
Yep.
I remember walking around with that bag, getting it certified, carrying a truck on the back of it during the fix. Yeah.
A lot of history built into this event, and no doubt. I'm looking forward to it. I cannot wait. this has been a flex for the East Coast, dude. What do you think, guys? Like, you got to hear a lot of different stuff. What's happening on the west side of the state out there at RC Addict and up in the Northeast where RCEC and the rest of those animals are up there grinding away, literally animals with the goats and those gorillas, doing obscene things to RC cars out there in the far Northeast. Bravo to you guys.
There's a lot of stuff going on in this area.
Proud to be a part of the Beast Coast right now. This is a flexing moment for us. I mean, I don't want to get locked into my own little Facebook algorithm. But I feel like this right now, this little time window has been something good for the East Side. We're always hearing about all the crawlers and coffee and reef nonsense happening on the West Side, but it's good to see the East Coast get their moment in the sun. Bravo. Did I freeze up or nobody gonna jump in there?
I was going to agree with you 100%, Mike. It seems like the West Coast has the weather, so they've got maybe a little bit longer event season than what we do, but the East Coast is putting it together, man, and we've come out strong as far as the scale stuff, the recon stuff, and yeah, there's lots for people to do. Everybody needs to get out and support your local events for sure.
I'll tell you what, one thing I learned about the West Coast guys is a lot of their season is very different than ours. It comes summer and spring, we're out in full force. Come summer, those guys are melting out there, and they're like, they take it off, and they're running October, November, December, January.
I think that's a fair point.
I think what happens is that by the time we're scrolling through Instagram and Facebook and hearing about events that are occurring out on the West Coast, we're a month away, 2 months away from being out with our buddies on the trail, and we're just like, man, they got so much. We have just as much. I think it becomes a little bit of cabin fever for us, and we get a little jealous because we're cabin fevered, and we forget that they're probably saying the same thing about us in July when it's 105 out there in the desert, and it doesn't matter what compound you have, your rubber's peeling off like it's a banana.
It's literally, my truck was still hanging upside down there. If I would have left it, it'd still be on the rocks somewhere. It will do obscene things out there on the trucks. You're killing them off.
Velcro rock.
And we have a nice, very type of terrain around here.
Oh yeah, with the water we get.
We have so much water.
We have slippery rocks.
Yeah, water and RC's mix. Water makes for some really scaled trails at times.
Absolutely, yeah. No, I wouldn't trade it. I think we do get pretty blessed here. We get the seasons and all of it. I'm not complaining.
What we all need to do is start taking over that cabin fever event there in Lebanon in January, February.
Yeah.
I mean, they're doing a lot of neat stuff with the semis and the big dirt pit. But
where's Kevin at?
We need to get out there and start running tiny tires on our own little dirt trails there.
Absolutely. That is definitely. You're talking about taking something over that's been really groomed as a 14 scale next level.
Well, I don't mean taking over their big dirt pile. I mean
getting apart.
They can find us a nice wing that they can build. They can use their 14 scale dumpers to build us a nice trail.
I saw Matt Coachers here. Shout out to Matt. He will be at the Recon with his boat selection. So if you remember him earlier from another episode, Matt Coacher went into detail about some of all of his recent boat findings and his little boat fetish that he has right now. And he will be leaving them open up there on the pond for people to go and play with. So if you want to cool off, go play and break Matt's boats. He said go up there and break them, crash them, and dunk them. Sorry, Matt. But he did encourage you to go play with his stuff. He is that guy. He will hand you the controller. Go enjoy it. So you can go play in the pond and go for a hike here and there. Cheer on the guys in the fix, and
It's like he knew
enjoy the
we were
weekend.
talking about him.
Jake, that's what you guys need is a big pond.
Man, oh man.
We've got a swamp right in the middle of the property that became a pond this year. So if you'd like to go in, you're welcome. I just don't know how well your truck's gonna smell afterwards.
Much like the pond that beat the creek.
Oh.
Yep.
Oh man, oh man. All right, guys. I think we did exactly what I was hoping. This was kind of a past, present, future kind of happening here. Great job to you, Jake. Fantastic. I'm happy that everything went so well for you and the goat farm, and I'm hoping that we will, if Richard Croon's here, I'm hoping we will get a chance to get up to you guys in October. That will be my personal objective. Bill, 10 p.m. Oh, it's 10 p.m. warning. Thank you, Bill. We are going to wrap this up, guys. Anybody want to pull off a closing word? Did we forget to thank anyone? Did we forget to mention anything that anybody wants to jump in here on?
We forgot to mention somebody.
Go.
We forgot to mention you, because people like you, well, people like all of us, but people like you that take the time to have people like us on spreads the word. Hopefully we'll get some more people coming out to all these events we talked about.
No, fair enough. Thank you.
So you need a little credit every once in a while.
No, thank you. It does take up a shit ton of time. I spent my entire Saturday here, getting prepped and ready for this. It does take an effort. Absolutely. Hopefully it gets passed on to some new set of ears out there and perks somebody up to want to jump in a vehicle and head up to the Northeast and, go check out the goat farm or come, check out one of these events. Hopefully it's going to be a nudge. That's the whole idea. Break the algorithm and branch out, and hopefully, Bill
there you go, Mike.
Scare everyone away. No, honestly, Bill's down there in Kentucky. It was the reason I was so excited to get down to Beat the Creek. The moment you come across this guy, you realize this event's filled with good people having a good time. You'll never get that moment back, but Bill's moment down there at Beat the Creek left a lasting impression on me of holy crap. It's good, funny people.
It's because you still got the bruises.
And that was the second time. That was the second year went, which was you and I in the room. Oh, goodness. No, thank you, Adam, for mentioning that. We will get ready to see the rest of you all out and about. I'm going to bring us out full circle. Chad, you are next, my friend. We got you on our radar. We are going to find a time. We want to bring you back for a moment in the sun and dig in a little bit deeper on some of the bodies. So get yourself squared away.
Okay.
We will be coming back to do that. So let me find.
Well, thank you for having me tonight, especially. It's my first time ever being on YouTube. So.
Oh, fantastic! No, you did GCM very well. You're going to have people Googling what the hell GCM is tonight.
As they should. If you're a scaler, you should know who GCM is.
Dude, I talked to a shit ton of people during the day, and you'd be surprised.
Yeah, they're not your RTR TRX4s. Sorry. Okay,
fair enough. It's a fringe company at the top of the scale world. It's so creepy. You should almost know who it is first, but you have to kind of detour around. It takes you a while to figure out what the heck they're doing.
Facebook has been great to get a lot of us together, but it's been absolutely horrible for us to remember our history. Everybody needs to just log on to rccrawler.com, go back 10 years, and just start reading.
Yeah, fair enough. There is a history baked into this world, and it's a merry-go-round. It goes around and around, and new people come all the time, and it's exciting. It's a hobby. It's hell it's all about. People come and go. And it's about being that beacon, being that mouthpiece and welcoming person, being a Bill and being willing to get out there and show people it's a good time. And Jake and Chad, you're saying all the right things, Adam. It's the group of you guys here tonight, leading from the front of the pack, doing it the right way, making this RC hobby fun to be a part of. So I thank you all for hanging out with me on a Saturday night, and the rest of us all here in the chat room. Most of you will be at Blue Rocks, and we'll look forward to seeing you there in 2 weeks? Is that our 2 week stamp? Is that
It's
is
like
it
3 weeks.
officially locked in?
Yeah, we're close. Why? Who's going to Blue Rocks here?
I don't know. I saw Matt, and I saw Matt, and
well, you all have my personal invitation on short notice to come on out, and I promise that I will beat you relentlessly with a pool noodle, and then buy you a walking taco.
Don't threaten me with a good time, Adam.
Oh, you took the words out of my mouth.
You know, if you're going to beat me, you should buy me dinner first.
Well, okay.
I
We
can
can
eat
do
a
that.
lot of.
People pay extra for that.
Yep, exactly.
That's right.
Now remember, it is a family-friendly event. We'd have to do it in private.
I
It's
can
been a
eat
good time
lot-
talking with you boys tonight.
I can eat a lot of walking tacos.
Yeah, I've seen you eat a lot of walking tacos. And I've seen the aftermath of you eating walking tacos.
I'm just saying, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I
It's
will
not-
eat
it's
them
just
all day
toxic.
long. I'm not afraid. I
That's
will
what's
eat them.
wrong.
All right. So
Thank you
let's
for
do this.
having us on tonight, Mike. I appreciate
Absolutely.
it, brother.
Absolutely. All right, sit tight, boys. We're gonna fade out of here with a quick outro, and boom, boom. Yeah, fantastic. A short little countdown, and one of these is an out. One of these is an end. We're gonna click this one and see if it works.